Hello, everybody, and welcome to Day Job. I am your host, Code Marvelous, and today we are going to be playing a little of this game. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Android Netrunner, but we're going to be playing it, and we're going to be working on trying to bring back Aesop's Haley. We'll start there as a base. We'll probably end up moving on to something else, but it's kind of where I wanted to start things out today. So one thing is, I'm still very much so enamored with this card. So the original genesis of the deck idea that we're going to be working with today is I had this thought that Rozeki is a really good Aesop's Haley card because it drips, right? You can piggyback it in with other things, and then whenever you need the MU, you can just pawn it. So if it drips for like 3 or 4 turns and then you pawn it later, then you get a total of like 7 credits worth of value, net 5. So that's not terrible, right? That's the idea anyway. This is a very good opener. We have 2 of our most important cards in our opening hand. Let's give them the old GLHF. Yeah, so that's the idea of where we're starting today. I kind of want to play Shaper, but I've been having a lot of disappointment with my attempts to play Shaper, but I don't know how much that's my own impatience now, if that makes any sense. Compared to the decks actually being bad, I'm very impatient now for the slow setup of Shaper after playing 419, where a lot of your benefits are immediate. So, something to be wary of. So, come on, Balder, you can come up. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. No one's stopping you. Alright, you can hang out down there if you want. Alright, so we're going to gamble. We're going to put down Aesop's Pawn Shop and Proco. We're going to hit Proco once, and then we'll put down Rozeki. Not a bad opener, if I do say so myself. Now we're just going to be drawing like mad to try to get set up and be able to threaten. And also, just like in the 419, Rozeki gives me a non-vital program to throw to SDS. Does everybody like my new Shaper background that I made? So we're going to keep doing Shaper business. Just draw with Proco. Install 2 cards and build up a late game board state. We don't have any breakers, so we can't threaten just now. Hey, Billy, or not Billy. Alright, so that one we're probably going to have to let go. We're going to continue working. So we're going to sure gamble, and then we're also going to get out this SMC and this Palangi, because they're going to want to score instead of purging. Yeah, they're going to just take the score. We're going to keep working. We haven't had any good Aesop's targets yet, which is not ideal. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get out of cash. And we're going to put the Rozeki down. And then we're going to just keep getting money. Now we have the SMC in the bin to be able to go get a breaker of choice using clone chip. And we're ready to threaten. We already have a Kushuk. This deck is designed so that you can use either ones or twos, depending on what you have. Yeah, so we're gonna just keep building board. I know that this is kind of boring lock shaper gameplay, but this is the world that we live in, okay? I don't know why you're clawing me, Balder. You can come up here anytime you want. Yeah, man. I'm here for you. Now, do we think that's something like a prize snack? Prize snack? A prize snake? Alright, well, let's check archives. I want to see what's going on. Okay, so what was ditched? Some bat. So it's probably a baddie. Alright. Alright, so we have 1, 2. Oh, wow. Oh, it's a hostile. Okay. So we gotta be wary. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, let's go ahead and Kushuk. So now we're gonna go ahead and get David out of the bin. And we'll put nanotech down at the same time. So we have it. So we get the SDS drone deployment. Probably right now, our best bet would be to actually ditch the David, because then we can recur it at full strength. And then we're going to just Proco, Proco, Proco to help get us at a punitive range. Next turn, we're going to pawn this daily casts. I wanted to kind of move away from the Surfer Woo decks because I feel like those decks are a little bit more predictable in how much money it takes for them to get into servers and do various things. So I think this turn we're going to pawn the daily casts. Let's go into server 1 and clear this out, especially if it's like a defensive upgrade. The big thing is with money, all things are possible, right? Things I want to talk about. All right. So they're going to force our hand. We're going to go get this, and we're going to put the Rozeki down. We're going to go get a lady. Now we have 3 Rozekis ticking. And this is Shaper, right? We have so many programs that we're actually using installed. I wonder if they're gonna use it here. Probably like a baddie. No, it's a Rashida. Okay. So let's poke HQ. I might go down to 1 Palangi. I found myself not using it all the time. Now the boost on Nanotech is free because of how much bad pub they have. Oh, right. I also have imps in this deck. So now we're dripping for 5 a turn. We do need to find Angolo. So they're gonna reset the clock on our money. Which honestly isn't the end of the world. So we need to clear out this because it's probably a Chrysium, but it could be a baddie. Either way. We still have 2 clone ships waiting in the wings. And an Angolo to find somewhere. How's everybody doing? How was everybody's week while I was gone last week? What did everybody get into? Okay. I think this turn, we're gonna click once. We're gonna turn this into a sentry. We're gonna imp some stuff. And then let's see if we get a purge here. I love imp. Also, another reason why this deck came into existence is because I got Alexis's. Let me bring up Alexis's card shop off of the Artist Colony. I've got a set of Alexis Spicer's new cards. And I want to use all of them, so this is a deck that uses all 3 of the viruses. Here, I'm gonna put the product link. They're really beautiful. I can't imagine anybody who watches this stream isn't also aware of what's going on here. But I got a set of these. Check it out. Alright, what did they archive for? A Marcus Batty? So this turn we're going to let the daily casts tick down. And then pawn it. Baldur, did you know that my desk is literally covered in cat hair thanks to you? Yeah. All right. That's not a good opener. So let's go. Good luck, have fun. And then we're gonna mulligan. This is pretty good. We'll keep this. Beth is something really good to get early against the outfit. Gosh, I've missed playing Haley. Good old 6-click Haley. Alright, so we need to catch up on money, which is good. But we're going to have 5 clicks to do it, which is super good. Now I only have 2 SMCs in this deck, which could end up being somewhat problematic. Alright, the engine is purring. If we could get a Palangi, we'd be in business. So let's go ahead and get rid of this cash. I don't want to put any breakers down. Because if that's an SDS, or we will lose whatever breaker we put down. Oh, it's a reversed accounts. Okay. So they're just resetting the clock on our money, which is fine. We haven't spent that much of our energy. We'll hold these 2 back so they think that potentially they're still good to score. We can overdraw here because we don't need the feedback filter. Next turn we'll pawn this, not this, so we still have the double install if we need it, because this is probably a border control and something else. What's everybody playing? Well, I guess we can probably let that one go. We're gonna just start cushioning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. System outage. Whew, hot dog. That's that's some spicy meatball. Alright, so let's get out our one of our other ladies. So I guess the real question is, do we try to go for the win right now? Sure. We are nothing if not brave. Let's see if we can get a one-turn win. Imagine if we had only gotten like 6 points there, how bad that would have been. It's not that messed up. We have to do a lot of setup to make it work. Alright, so let's look at the list for a minute while we wait. So this is where we're at right now. I don't feel terrible about it. I feel like we've got a lot of good tools. I'd kind of like to have another SMC. I don't know to what degree we need this third Akamatsu, but I always feel like I miss it when I don't have it. Palangi is another one-cost card that's very valuable. There are so many cards that are like situationally valuable in this deck, right? We're also already at 46 cards. We're already oversized. So I guess we could cut an Akamatsu and cut a Palangi, get the third SMC in that way. I don't know if we want to go down to 2 Rizekis, but we do like to see them. Because then we could get the third Palangi back in. What do people think? Because Rizeki's kind of... If we're reducing MU, Rizeki's kind of sit heavy in our rig, right? So, assuming we don't get scarcitied... Oh, well, I shouldn't have mulliganed that. Oh, well. Good luck, have fun. Yeah, I mean, Solemn Storm, I get what you're saying about the card, but also things that you have to keep in mind. You shouldn't really put... You shouldn't really put only one Ice Wall on R&D, right? Like, that play wouldn't have been possible if our opponent hadn't done something that was a bad idea, right? Alright, so let's stim hack in here. Alright, Alright, let's imp this. Let's remove tag. Yeah, it's not about keeping me out, though. It's about making it so that I can't do more than one, right? So it's going to be... Oh no, it's going to be a NGO front. We're going to get hard-hitting news. Hey, Boris. This scarcity is going to be a real problem. So assuming we're not already dead, we can survive for one turn. God, I hate scarcity so much. Yeah, but at least, Chris, as a criminal, you have currents that are actually good and worth playing, right? Like 3 corporate grant is good. I'm not asking for much. I just want one turn without the scarcity. Oh, how many times am I going to hit that same consulting visit? A lot, apparently. That pained me a lot. But we have to get them down. Our deck requires both of those cards. At least we have some minimal form of permanent economy in the form of these Rizekis, because we're just like screwed. I don't know. Hey Michael, hey Sanjay. I don't know what we're gonna do here. We're feeling like we're in pretty bad shape, to be completely honest. We just keep hitting that consulting visit. The turn one scarcity is just too much. Yeah, it's too much. Thankfully, there's not a ton of scarcity floating around. But this is good testing, because this is one of the matchups I was worried about, right? People do still like to play as Mari. At least we've got lots of tricks, right? That always makes me happy. We're probably going to lose this game without having scored a single agenda, but turn one scarcity, it's going to get you. Yep, so good game. Probably the single most impactful current in Netrunner. So we're 1-1. Do we want to move on to something else, or do we want to stick with this? Yeah, I mean, but E-Strike isn't in Netrunner anymore. I don't know. Shaper just feels like super duper bad right now. It feels so slow, and it feels like it's so vulnerable early in a way that the other factions just aren't. right? Right, like most of the other factions have tools that work right out of the gate. I don't know, like, this isn't me grumbling, I'm asking, do we stick with this? Do we move to something else? Is this too slow for the current metagame? So, what if we got rid of the pawn shop and went with Levy as our restricted card? We could stay with this toolbox type build. And we could get in Specworks. Get rid of this big tempo hit. Get a same old thing in there. So we're getting pretty dramatically oversized on card slots. I guess if we have Levy, we don't need feedback filter. We could start with this, see if this works. Or do we still want Proco? No, we definitely don't want 3 Freedom 3 equalities. Maybe no Rizekis in this build. Cut Angelo for Gordian. Maybe Earthrise? 2 Earthrise? Or should it be Proco still? Okay, well, if we want to minimize vulnerability to scarcity, we want to have something that looks kind of like this. Let's think about money cards. We have 3, 6, 9, 12 money cards. But we don't have, like, burst econ still. Deck building is hard. Maybe we don't need the turning wheels. We're not going to be running super... Oh, no. I mean, of course we want turning wheels. You never don't want turning wheels. Life is hard. If we're gonna create some sort of lock, gosh, it pains me to have to put this card in here. Because otherwise I'm just concerned that we won't have enough money in the late game. Unless we're gonna just do triple Palangi, triple Cerberus, and just treat this like a rush build. What's the interaction of Whistleblower and Kushuk? Can you use those in tandem with each other? Oh, you know what? We're gonna do a legwork. And then we'll get a second same old thing. And then we'll see what we can make happen. Making like a Haley one cost like rush deck, right? I have so many Woo decks. Gotta scroll through all of my deck building backlog, because I remember working on something like this earlier. Man, I have too many decks. Alright, this seems pretty good. We'll keep it. We got money. I must have deleted it. That's all yours. Yeah, we're gonna just try to get as many one-costers down as we can. So what, that's gonna be 6? So they gotta hit us with 2 punitives to kill us. I also kind of want to do a Stargate Shaper. But I don't know how viable that is. Just getting as many ones down as we can. That's going to be a Rashida. I love Haley because having the pull from hand power is really good, right? Is there a Kashuk already in there? No, but we do need to get that guy down. One, two, three, four, five. All right, let's stam Hark in. Do we think that that is an NGO front, or do we think that that's an agenda? I don't know, we're gonna take a risk. Bold. But we were bolder. Maybe we want one same old thing and two levies. I can see ours ripping through the deck pretty quick.
A new follower.
Nice. I wish all of Criminal or all of Shaper wasn't so resource dependent. Right? Maybe just two of these, 3 Kushuks. Since we're a combo deck. This is how we test, right? We keep fiddling around with stuff. Good luck, have fun. Let's draw. Let's draw again. I wish Proco wasn't such a liability against. Is there a current that we could run that isn't just like complete trash? I guess the only one that's even of any use to us really is Interdiction. before border control gets rezzed. I at least want that out. Probably an NGO front then. Nice, we're on the board. Freedom's not a clearing current. It's too expensive. I'm going to spend 3 credits to clear a current so I can avoid a 2 cost increase on a resource. Right? That's not like... The algebra on that's not very good. Ugh. This is matchups where I miss not having Proco, right? Because against somebody who's not playing Scarcity, Proco is our late game inevitability. Doesn't Net Celebrity cost like 2 credits to play? Yeah. Net Celebrity's a bad card. I'm not asking for much, deck. I'm just asking for a money card out here in 2019. One, two, three, 4 cards showing for Kushuk. I think that's an NGO. Oh, maybe not. I love the flexibility that having lots of Palangis provide. I feel very good about that. And we're just playing it like a combo deck. I'd like to draw into a spec work here, or a mem chip would be good. See, I think the other thing about Proco, specifically with its partnership with Haley, is that Proco specifically because there's already one levy in the bin and we haven't seen same old thing. Proco specifically also has a synergy with Haley in that it gives you the money to install the programs you're drawing. Those spec works could not have been better timed. Because we're just cycling through, right? Maybe I want something like Tech Writers in this deck as some late game econ. But that kind of goes against our mindset. So we got some drip going. I really do just like Rizekis and basically all shapers because it gives us the ability to, while we're thinking and drawing, continue to maintain tempo, right? Alright, let's draw. Let's draw again. Let's draw again. Guess we'll put this bad boy down, no piggybacks. Petruvii? Okay. Alright, right now we're showing 1, 2, 3, 4 cards for Kushuk, which is not enough. Don't like that. We have 3 stim hacks, right? Yeah. Hard drawing just feels super bad at Shaper. I guess we gotta hope that that's not an agenda. One, two, three, four, five. All right, we got to try to hit the 5-3. The loveliest thing about playing this style of deck is with the Palangis, and we're playing like a toolboxy Haley. Our opponent doesn't really have a good sense of what we're capable of, and like doing math for all of that is pretty hard for them. Okay, yep. 5 cards. We whiff. Not ideal. Let's hit archives. Well, that's really frustrating, huh? I'm gonna bring Russell in here. Hello.
Hey, Dan.
How's it going, my friend?
Doing okay? Great day here in the UK.
Alright, can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Alright, so I'm trying to do like a shaper multi-tool type build. I just moved off of a Proco version to a more spec work, one cost, money card type build. And
You dropped the ESOPs as well.
yeah, and we won one and lost one. So we've won one and lost one with both decks. Now, hard drawing and shaper feels like a nightmare, but like the second game with the Proco build showed that like if you're up against like a scarcity Azumari deck, you just lose. Like you, I lost them already. What do we think, people? Where is the future of Shaper? You there? Russell? Russell? Russell?
Sorry, Dan. Yeah, the Skype audio is really bad. So let's see if that works now. Okay, so I think the last thing I said to you was you dropped ESOPs, then you were telling me about the things that you'd your record with the deck, and then I lost you completely. So
yeah, what I was gonna say is hard drawing with Shaper feels like a nightmare, right? So I guess my question is there, one of my first questions is there a current worth playing in Shaper? I don't think that there is.
So what do you want a current for?
to get rid of scarcity.
So do you not just pay through?
I mean, you can, but the problem is without the pro code, you don't have the ability to have the money to pay through other things.
Mm-hmm.
I guess ideally, I guess in the modern metagame, I'd like to have a Shaper deck where literally like my only resources are like a Beth and 3 Procos, right?
Yeah. Scarcity is not that common right now. I mean, I know that people know what you're on, so maybe they're playing scarcity against you, but there's not that much scarcity around. I don't know. I just normally pay through.
So this is the original deck. What do you think of this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was looking at it last night. I think you shared it with me. I think this looks good. I mean, yeah, sure, it's vulnerable to an early scarcity is a challenge, but I guess you install the minimum of what you need and then challenge for the agenda.
Yeah. So what did we think about the viability of this compared to something like the Raccoon Tech deck?
Oh, I haven't seen this one.
This is the one that won Calgary Regionals. It's a Surfer deck.
Mm-hmm. This is a long way outside my experience. I have no idea to say whether this is good or not. What does Flameout do?
Oh, Flameout makes it so that you can fire SMCs for less money because you use this to pay the 2.
Oh, right. Okay, sure.
It's also really funny because if you have 1 lamb in hand and they've done their math on being able to keep you out, you can put another lamb on Flameout, get all of the installs or all of the breaking for free, and then it trashes. The other thing that Flameout does is Flameout, since you can fire end of turn things in your order, Flameout means you can woo tutor a program, use it, and then Flameout makes it trashed instead of removed from game.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure, it looks interesting. It looks interesting, but I need to play it a few times to know how it works. Does it rely on Surfer?
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
How's it do via a Gagarin deck? Not well, I guess.
Terrible. Like all Shapers, it's just like terrible against asset spam, right? I mean, it has 3 stim hacks, so that's not terrible. I mean, I guess my biggest thing is right now, if you're not running crowdfunding, is you're not super great against or Val, you're not super great against
well, I don't know. I think the Rube Goldberg deck's okay because it just ignores everything, right? It just ignores all that stuff and clears tags and removes them with Forger and eventually makes enough money that it can get by.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't really like those style of decks. I think those style of decks are the reason people complain about Shaper as being unfun, and those decks are always like really unfun both to play and play against, in my humble opinion. Like every time we go to a tournament, I just see people getting super frustrated playing that deck themselves and playing against it because people miss triggers or forget what they're doing and get flustered, and then also the person that they're playing against is pissed off the entire time because they're not interacting with the board state in any way. You know what I mean?
I understand the point. So, Builder of Nations.
Yep. So we're just gonna set up a drip board state and lock with Kushuk and try to win with as few runs as possible against Builder of Nations.
I mean, you can make more. It's a question of making multiple runs in a turn, right? So once the interaction is gone for that turn, you can run you can run again and not take the damage. But your breakers are pretty efficient, right?
Yeah, I mean, we got Lamb. Lamb's pretty good. So let's keep... Oh, right. This thing also has a chameleon, which I find very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Because chameleon says that you can put it on flame out, and then you can use chameleon's end of turn to interrupt it being trashed.
Mm-hmm.
Which I find that interaction just so cute. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this setup isn't the most interesting in the universe.
Yeah, I think we need to be careful about hit points. I think they're probably on a Red Planet Courier's build, right?
Yeah. All we're gonna install now is probably the Surfer, or not the Surfer, the Lamb, the Surfer, and then use the Kushuks and this Freedom Through Equality. That's it. We have our whole deck now.
Yeah.
We're also dripping an easy mark every turn. Oh, that clot will feel nice.
You got clone ships. You got clone ships in the deck.
I believe there's 2 clone ships in the deck. I was right. There are 2 clone ships in this build. What do we think? SDS?
Sure. Make them spend. I'd say make them spend money. You can challenge it, right? Unless they've got 2 things that are not code gates.
You mean
But
barriers?
you can not barriers. You can put the chameleon down and name one other thing, I guess.
We don't have the MU for it.
Okay.
Let's check it out.
You don't even need to break it, right?
Yeah.
Can you not just let it fire?
Yeah, we'll just let that one fire.
I guess maybe we play the freedom first, right? If we think it's an agenda.
Wait, why did we... Oh, right. The Builder of Nations garbage. Alright, so there's the Mazvingo. Which is actually surprisingly taxing for Lamb, because it is the magic number of 3 strength. Perfect. And then for safety, we'll just take all the credits. We'll remove a tag. We'll draw a card. And get a credit.
Yeah. I think if we think it's an agenda, we should probably put the freedom down, right?
Yeah, but we can save that.
We
could save that for the Kushuk run, right? Now the other thing is the Kushuk number for this deck is 2, and we're already showing 5 cards for it. All right. So you have a stim hack for. There we go. That's what I was waiting for. Because now, even in a pinch, we can go tutor for Surfer if we really have to, right? Well, we were originally playing Haley. Do you think that the world moves so slowly, Derek? Alright, what happened? What happened? Alright, so they're advancing ice. Let's draw. There you are. Our beautiful baby is here. Let's store some money. We're just waiting, right? We're just waiting on Kushuk to show
What do you
up.
think what do you think is in the remote?
Probably a baddie. Maybe an Ash. Let's draw. Let's draw again.
So what's the magic thing that they need to do to score government takeover off a number of advancement counters that they've got when they've got it installed already?
They need 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
If we can go check that if you want. Let's go check it.
Yeah, sure. Make them spend some money.
All those advancement counters are for naught. Because it's still the same amount. Project Kronos. That's a
Told
pretty...
you it was an agenda.
That's pretty spicy. Well, now we don't need freedom.
Well, it depends, I guess, if they're on Atlas, if they've got an Atlas in there or something. I don't know.
Let's hit HQ because we can break whatever it is, and we don't get another hit of the ability, right? So yeah, not surprisingly. So we're gonna get the clot in the bin.
Yeah. Get the clone ship down.
Yep.
So I think while they've got nothing installed in the remote, then just taking money's fine, right? Just
Yeah, I mean, we're living our best lives.
you can just remote lock.
Yeah, we have to do it right after the install, before the red planet is played. Basically, is how this works.
Yeah.
Now,
They got a lot of money.
Do we want to?
How many is it 3 Kashyyyks?
There's 3 Kashyyyks in this deck. Yeah. Do we want
I'd say by now. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, let's do that.
Again, I think I would probably freedom and then legwork if you think you're going to hit it. There you go. How you want it anyway. Good job. I think by 19 cards into their deck,
there's a Gendi in there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't know, man. I kind of really want to play Haley. So, I'm gonna take you, Russell, my friend, my dear, dear friend. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go on a little journey. We're gonna make a from-scratch deck. A Shaper deck, no less. How does that make you feel?
Sure.
Talk to me. Talk to me about your feelings. All right, let's put the.
I'm British, Dan. We don't do feelings.
Oh, come on. You have many feelings. Yeah, we don't do.
Dabble seems good.
We don't
Clone
do
ship
feelings.
seems good.
Yeah, I mean, clone ship seems great. And SMC seems great. What do we want our... So I think with Haley, you have to talk first and foremost about what your restricted card's going to be. So one thing that did come that was nice about doing the Aesop's deck is that we were, like, ludicrously rich. Oh, we lost. You there? So one thing I was saying is that one thing that we did have by having Aesop as our restricted card is we actually had money to use all of our crappy programs. Oh.
Just go a little bit closer to the route to see if that makes a difference.
How is your internet so bad? You live in like a city, right?
You still there?
I'm still there. Do you live in like a city? Russell? No, we must have lost him.
Yeah, I've got you.
Yep. Do you live in a major city?
I guess Manchester.
So you should have good internet, is my point.
Well, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. You don't need a big city for good internet in the UK. We're small enough that it all works. Beth seems good. So you put the Holy Triumvirate in there.
What's the Triumvirate?
Proco, Beth, Aesops.
So what I was saying is, do we stick with Aesop's as our restricted card, or do we switch to something else?
And what are your other options? In Shaper.
Levy's
Levy?
pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we could do crowdfunding.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. You're going to be running 3 times a turn?
We could be. How do we enable that in Shaper? Is there a way that we effectively enable that?
Depends, I guess. How much is Marathon? Is Marathon a Shaper card?
Marathon is a Shaper card. It's got Cabanesavu on it. Somebody mentioned Out of the Ashes, which is a wild, wild choice.
All right, so what do you do with these runs then?
No,
You need...
well, we're certainly not doing that.
Where's Dave Sayer when you need him?
Okay, well, I think restricted card. Let's stick with the Aesops, right? Because then we can do a more toolboxy build, right?
Hmm.
So if we're gonna do that, we also want casts.
And cash.
Probably 3 cash to start. We can always remove them. Clot, one of the most compelling reasons to play Shaper. Misdirection, also an important reason to play Shaper. Feedback filter. Astrolabe. Some number of chips.
No, we're basically
rebuilt.
We're back to the deck that you had just a moment ago.
So I mean, I guess so. Let's talk about multi-axis. Is Kushik our best choice, or should we try to make like a more formal lock deck with RDIs?
So the difference is Kushik shuffles and RDI doesn't, right? I mean, people aren't generally going down the RDI route at the moment, but it's probably worth a look. It's just expensive compared to Kushik, right? Plus, it's you get some multi-access relatively early, whereas Kushik requires that you've got enough fixed cost cards that it works for you.
I mean, with all the punitive going around, is it worth it to do Film Critic instead?
So Film Critic isn't terrible right now. I mean, Wayland's thing, and the people who are running SDS, and they're running. Dave Sayer ran Film Critic in his Val build at the regionals that he ran. That was an interesting choice, but is it better than ESOPs? And what's your economy engine if it's not ESOPs?
I mean, that's really the problem, isn't it?
You got that Film Critic alternative, right?
Yeah, the one that costs 1 influence. The whistleblower. But you have to be able to name the agenda for that. So it only works against certain things. It works against things like Obokata, because you usually know when there's going to be an Obokata in a deck. It works against City Works Project, right?
Yeah.
But like against other Wayland decks where you have to call whether it's an SDS or an SSL, you can get burned by it.
Before you hit it.
Hey, do you think we could play an Apocalypse deck at a Shaper?
You need multiple breakers for that, or a way to get them back out the trash, of face down once you've done it. So,
that's what Aesops is for, right?
Yeah.
What if we did some super wild garbage? Huh? Let's just go ahead and turn back the time a little bit. We'll get rid of the Proco. We'll keep the daily casts. What if we got Apocalypse in here?
So is your engine like Chopbot Reaver?
No, you have Aesops.
But can you build on top of that with either Reaver or Chopbot? What does Chopbot say?
Chopbot takes the same trigger as Aesops.
Okay.
So it's one or the other.
And Reaver is when you trash a card, draw a card, right? Or is it the first time you trash a card, gain credit?
No, well, you're thinking of Wasteland.
Okay. What is Reaver? What is Reaver then?
Reaver is a 4-cost program.
There you go.
Yeah. The first time you draw, but that's 4 influence.
Yeah, you can't do that.
And we'd only be able to fit 1. The other card that you were thinking about is a 2 influence one where you the first time you trash and install a card, you get 1.
So you need the clone chips.
We could get some DDoSes in there.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could get single DDoS and some number of stim hacks. Right?
Yeah.
Stimhack's a great Shaper card. I don't know why you're laughing. Uh, oh, you know what? This could be a Woo deck. Oh, no, it can't be a Woo deck because you couldn't tutor for something and APOC on the same turn. Oh, yeah, we could do Compile. Compile could be good. People are mentioning that Compile can take stuff out of the trash. Give us more clone chips, basically. I told you, Russell, we were going to go on a magic carpet ride, and here we are.
What about scavenge? Can you scavenge a face down card?
Let me take a look. No, because it would no longer have the subtype program.
Program, right. Or what about, what's rejig do?
Rejig, I think, specifies hardware.
Okay, so that doesn't work.
So that doesn't work either.
What's the other one that's really been playing recently that has the same kind of effect? Spec work?
Spec work specifies as programs.
Right.
I want to get these in here.
Okay. Economy. We need some economy. We don't have any economy right now apart from gamble.
Okay, so
we've got no Aesop's pawn shop until we've landed the APOC. We've got no way to break things.
So we could always do one of these. We could get some caches in there for early.
So Compile is good, and SMC, that lets you challenge. So do you want Lamb? Lamb and Engelo both are multi-purpose breakers, right?
They're expensive to use on multiple ice, though. So what I was potentially thinking is we could do something like get Palangis, and then get Lady in. And then get Lady, Ica. What's the cheapest code gate breaker that we have access to? Is it Gordian?
Probably Gordian.
Or Sai. Cypher.
If you're all in on the APOC play, then you can specify where that goes.
So
or
then
retarget. Then you can retarget that with scavenge. Isn't scavenge good if you've got Lady and Cypher side down? And Ica
yeah,
too?
but they're not always going to be down, right? We're going to be flipping them.
No.
We could probably do with just having 3 of these. Taking you on a magic ride, my friend.
So what are we pawning apart? We're pawning cash. Once we land APOC, we're pawning face down cards. That's okay. Do you want like a Parisia or something? I don't know.
What else? Let's look. What are some other, like, cheap-ass things that we could get down? Oh, right.
Da Vinci.
Diesel's probably pretty good in this deck.
Now you got some draw. Got no. We don't. Do you want an astrolabe for draw? Thing is, it's going to be a use once, right? When you apocalypse line.
How are we so bad on money? Right, because Shaper doesn't have any. Right?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's gamble, casts, and cash.
All right.
And Stimhack, I guess.
Let's see how bad this does. Okay, so we could also cut 1 Apocalypse and get like 3 Harbingers in. which would give us more pawn shop stuff.
Sure.
Or we could, I hate putting peace in our time in apocalypse decks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we could do like cut
Stick
one.
with it as stick with it as it is, Dan.
Aren't you happy you're friends with me, Russell, so I can help you work on this nonsense?
It's a mystery, Dan. It's a mystery.
What? Why you keep me around?
Of course. No, this deck building thing that you do.
It's experimentation, my friend. Well,
So of course, we're hoping that whoever joins us in the next room will not be watching the stream.
Yeah, if
Exactly.
we play somebody who's not watching the stream, they are certainly going to be surprised.
Yeah, if any of your usual opponents join, they'll know exactly what we're doing. So when they triple ice HQ, turn 1. That's the advantage you've got against Haiti people, maybe, and are going to leave HQ open.
We're just out here living our worst lives, you know? I don't know how valuable these Out of the Ashes are going to be. You know?
Well, maybe they enable the APOC. That's the plan, right?
Yeah, I mean they're like little amped ups, right?
Yeah, and Beth's good. LK Hero. Do we know who LK Hero is?
Nope, but they're playing a door-to-door deck.
Good.
You know, I really miss SDS or LD. What is it? LLDS processor.
Regulate.
The processor, because then you could use Chameleon in an APOC deck. Let's Diesel. Oof. Yeah, I mean, okay.
Gamble, gamble, gamble. Well, they're drawing.
They're drawing for something, right?
Well, run the bin and see what on earth they're doing. Do you think there are news teams in there or something? I don't know.
Probably.
Just run and see what on earth they've done. What are they dumped?
A degree mill.
Agreement. Okay, well, that's okay. Sure. Maybe they're just going to shuffle them back now. Preemptive them back. Okay.
They want their door-to-door because their stupid door-to-door deck only works if they get this one card.
Just run that remote, right? We don't want them getting Arabiata Tech or something.
I love Diesel.
So do you want to take the can we put something else down and get the degree mill out of the bin?
We could.
Do we sacrifice the Palangi maybe?
Yeah, we have 2 more.
Could they let the cast tick down and then just basically it's a Palangi plus a casts?
Yeah, that way we still...
That seems fine. And they conceded.
Okay. Wow.
Okay, well,
The
all right.
fear of the APOC, very strong.
Score that as a win.
They didn't even know what hit them. Thank you for jumping on, my friend.
Sure.
It's always lovely to have you on. I don't know if you saw my story that I put in general chat this morning.
don't inhabit general very much.
Oh, I see.
Only when the moderator alarm goes off.
Okay, so my wife has been letting her undercut mohawk grow out.
Okay.
So she has
Me too, actually, Dan.
I know. Gosh, you're such a punk, Russell. But so her hair is that kind of like longer on the top, short-ish on the sides. That like was really popular among mom-aged women in the '90s. You know what I'm talking about? Of course I lose him while I'm telling this story. You back?
Yeah, back.
Yep. So her hair is currently in the style similar to what like a mom would have in the '90s, with a longer on the top and then shortish on the sides. You know what I'm talking about?
Like a mullet kind of thing.
Not like a mullet, because that would be the '80s. But anyway, I made this comment to her, and then we went. Mentioned in passing that the hair looks somewhat like the hair my mom had when I was growing up. To which she did not like that comparison. And then when we went to go visit my family this past week at the beach house, the first thing that my mom did was fawn over how beautiful Kara's hair was and how much she liked the hairstyle, which was like a little bit of vindication for me in making that comparison.
So Black Tree.
Yeah. Not the best for playing against APOC.
No, did he put the beat? I guess you didn't. We didn't put a feedback filter in, right?
No.
Heritage Committee. So yeah, I guess you change over to the hit points thing and just take accesses, right?
Yeah. Gotta love the JNet meta. Where you never get to test runners because everybody loves to play Black Tree, where your opponent can't see your face, so they don't know if you're bluffing or not.
So you can get the clone ship down in case we lose a breaker.
Yeah. I hate these decks so much. These stupid got ya decks. Sure, we're dead. Cool, I hope they have double neural. So we can just move on. Because, like, in person, that person has to play that psychic field on the table and look at you. Right?
Sure. Just win off centrals. Just draw up for the moment. Yeah, get down a cash.
Everybody's a shell game genius on the internet.
Yeah, it's a strategy. Like I say, just win off centrals, run centrals, force them, make them spend money. Just get to the traps off R&D before they can find them. What have we got in the bin?
We had an Ico, which means that we also had a Cyber Cipher.
It's fine.
Too big to fail. What are they doing? I want to see if this is a breach dome in archives.
I'm sure it is. Oh no, it's a cyclic field, right, which they overwrote. We know about that.
Neural Katana. What year is it? Best case scenario here is we'd hit the oboe and steal it now.
Yeah, you get the cash down last click, right?
No, because we don't have any money, but...
It's one to install. So how much is Neural Katana to break now that they've got now that it's installed on there?
It's 3, unfortunately. What do we think that is? Do we think that's a trap, or do we think that's an oboe?
I think you just ignore them for the moment and just take accesses off centrals. That's what I would do. We need to money up a little bit. And did they reverse that?
Mm-hmm.
Cards in the temp zone, did they spot that? I think the standard anti-Jinteki strategy of just getting money and trying to find the June bugs and the other nonsense they've got off R&D before they get to them. Yeah, I think you need money. I'm not sure I'd be getting the casts down. That's fine. You can drop that.
Cool.
The crazy thing is that one Caldera just stops all of this.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have to start saying specifically when we're testing like new runner decks, I might have to say like no black tree.
No PE.
Because it's just we don't get to actually play our decks like at all.
Yeah, it's just hit points and accesses. Just take money. Is that another APOC? And that's another Aesop's in hand, right? So yeah. You probably can you land the APOC now with a little bit more money?
We could.
I think you need more money than you've got.
Well, we can work on that. Because that can be a pawn target. Let's put that one on R&D. And then let's get
just
a
gain
credit,
a credit.
and then
Gain a
ditch
credit.
the out of the ashes.
Mm-hmm. They've seen an APOC in the bin, right? 12 hit points left.
They've seen 2 APOCs in the bin.
I think you got to run the remote, right?
Do we?
Yeah, you can't steal. It'll be an uppercutter, so and we can't get to that anyway. So I still think that's an uppercutter in the remote. Can you land the APOC this time? Depends if
Probably.
depends whether they've got a Q. Let's run HQ. How about that? See what they got.
What?
So is that 2 net?
We gotta just let it fire. It's 3 net damage. Hey, we kept the APOC at least.
Mm-hmm. But we lost the ESOPs. Does we have another ESOPs left?
Nope, they're all gone.
We'll check what. I bet it's an oboe in the bin, but I guess we could check what it is.
Well, we don't want to check it because if it's a sting, we die.
We die. Yeah, sure. Just draw up then, right?
Okay, so it is an oboe. So we can go get that at some point. Yeah. Ideally, we would steal 2 oboes and win the game. Right?
Oh, HQ's not a bad place to run that because they've not got any ice protecting it right now. Just see what they got.
And we still landed an APOC. Okay. I'm willing to check that.
Mm-hmm.
If we die, we die. Watch it be like a fetal.
NGO.
Alright, let's run HQ. Synth modification DNA.
What does that even do?
When you break an AP subroutine, you take a net damage.
Right, sure. Well, they're drawing. I think you run HQ 3 times. And again. Alright, so they're going to put the oboe back into does that do? Oh, it puts cards back on R&D, right? Yeah.
Oh, working.
No, I worked this morning.
Show me a psychic field.
I'm just muting you for a second, Dan, so I can talk to Rachel. Hold on.
All right.
I think you just run HQ 4 times. Just try and pick one up, and then draw up for the obbligato that's in the bin.
Nope. Now we can't. So let's go get the oboe.
All right. So what can we break? We've got a lady. We can't break Kogates anymore. What do you think? Just click up next turn?
Mm-hmm. Show me Philotic.
Where are the agendas, Dan? They're not in archives.
They're probably in HQ, right?
I think so.
The big problem is this synth DNA modification. We need to trash it because it's going to police our hand size for steals.
Yeah. There's probably a Kikugo there, so somewhere, right?
So that's probably a viral weaponization, right?
Yep. So what can we get out of the bin or otherwise? You can like credit. You can credit, gamble.
I don't think we're playing gambles anymore.
Right. Well,
Here, let's see what's in archives.
it'll be... They're not going to put an agenda in there for That'd be nuts if they were to do that. So what can we break? You can put the lady down, right? You could,
Yeah, we're not breaking anything. We're just
or you
going.
could put the lady down and then just break the Kugo.
Nah. Gotta go hard. Show me a Koma Inu.
Junebug.
No, it's a weaponization.
Okay, well, interesting.
So now we need one steal to win.
Yeah. But I think it is worth putting the lady down because at least you could
it
break
is
a
now
Kugo.
that we're on 6 points.
Yeah. That'll be an obbligato, right?
Yep.
But do you run that one?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, I guess... Whatever. Still there? Bid 0, right?
Yeah.
Did I lose you?
I'm here. Can you hear me? Russell.
Yep. Still there?
I'm here.
Okay. I'm missing what's happening. Are they not reacting, or are we? Oh, it's okay.
Okay, so there's the oboe that we can never steal. Let's poke R&D. Good game.
Sure.
Alright, that's just gonna about do it, I think, for me for today.
Yeah. Well, thank you for introducing me to Apocalypse Haley.
Well, we did fire Apocalypse, so...
We did. We count that as a moral victory.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think that there will ever be a 50-card Shaper? Or do you think that runs too contrary to, like, the color pie of, like, consistency?
I don't know. It would have to be associated with an ability that was fairly strong.
Yeah. I had an idea for an ability. The first time you trash a program, an installed program, every turn, you can choose to either get 2 credits or draw a card.
Well, there was a chat the other day in the UK where somebody was saying what would happen if you made Beth the ID, but that would just be ridiculously overpowered.
Oh, if you just started with Beth's ability in play? Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be so good. Are you kidding? That'd be incredible.
Yeah, the general agreement was that it was overpowered.
I mean, Beth is like the best Shaper card, period. Like, this card is always incredible. I don't think I've ever played a game of Netrunner where Beth was not a huge deciding factor in my win as a Shaper.
Yeah. So let's shelve Apocalypse Haley for now and
Yeah,
come back to normality.
My other thing is I'm trying to just do like a good stuff Alice build with Stargate, which, you know, it just has Anar cards in it, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it turns out orange card's real good.
All right, Dan. Thanks very much for inviting me on stream.
Yeah, thanks
Enjoy the
very
rest
much for
of your
coming
day.
on. You as well. And everybody watching at home, until we see you all again, always be running.